So this map, when I first looked at it, I should probably look at the name. No, I'll just put the name. Oh, map name, Tactical Bombing. This map. When I first looked at this, I see 2 airports, and I think I'm going Waylon. Because Waylon, when he gets his power, all of his air units get 300 defense. Now, in Advance Wars by Web terms, this 300% defense is equivalent to a 75% defense on Advance Wars by Web. So you could just think of it, defense works as a divider instead of a subtractor. So with 300 defense, and you're dividing the number by 1 plus defense, so it's divided by 4. That's equivalent to 75% defense on Advance Wars by Web. And that 75% defense, as you would recognize, is very powerful. So I went with Waylon. My opponent went with Tabitha. Tabitha gets a 60% attack and defense, but it's only for her own unit until she can extend the range. I go for my neutral base first, they go for the capture first. So once again, as I said earlier, you would see a lot more base kipping on Days of Ruin simply because infantry is very expensive, costing 1.5 instead of the 1k. So you might not want to get the... It really depends if you want more units or do you want to get your vehicles faster. Alright, but I built a lot of bikes. Bikes get 5 movement, so you can really do a lot of chains and stuff. I send my infantry to skip this property and go up for the property further ahead because the property in the back can be captured by my infantry further behind. There is one thing I did learn in the TinyWars tournament, and it's that there's another counter to battlecopters other than anti-air, and that is dusters. I believe the name is dusters. Dusters they're pretty cheap units. They're cheap units for the air. They can attack infantry reasonably well. They can attack battlecopters, and battlecopters can't attack them back. But they lose to fighters, since fighters can one-shot them, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, my opponent built a tank on the left side first. I do the same on the right side, but a little bit later. Once again, I did not know radars give income, so I just did not capture it at all. But I now know better that radars do give income and comm towers do give income in Days of Ruin. Alright, tanks attacks my infantry. It's fine, I'll just trap it. And the tank can escape, but it's pretty much useless now. If it attacks any of my capturing soldiers here, my battlecopter, it covers everything on the left side. I also built a duster because I see a bomber up here, and I think, is this going to be a Tabitha bomber? A bomber with 60% attack and defense? Maybe. So of course the natural response is a duster. They are very cheap. They can do a base of 45 damage to a bomber. A bomber costs 20,000 here, dusters cost 13,000. So, and they're also very mobile. No Tabitha bomber, but I see a duster of her own. I decide to put my CO on my duster because It's very mobile. I'm getting a lot of charge from this. So, and I'm getting I can get a lot of charge by attacking and going anywhere on the map. As long as I hit something, I will get charge and I can always run away safely. I do believe I get a 30% defense as for air units on my day-to-day, if I remember correctly. I can probably just check. Nope. Waylon, day-to-day, 20% offense and 30% defense on air units. And Tabitha just gets 60% on all units, but only for herself since her CO zone radius is 0. Okay, and here comes a fighter to deal with my duster. But I built an anti-air because I know you need anti-air against air units. And here I am getting a lot more charge and being away from that fighter. I even captured this property, even if only temporarily. I still don't know radars give income, but I captured it anyway because my infantry isn't going to do anything anyway, so I might as well finish the cap. Just because I like the color. But it turns out it does give income, so it worked out. A bomber attacking an infantry? This is what confused me with this bomber right here, because it's in range of my duster. Like I said, it does 45 base damage, so I attacked the bomber. I pull my air units back because this Tabitha fighter is a fighter with 60% attack and defense right now, so it's very strong. Fortunately, I am the defense air commander as Waylon, so I can actually survive against a Tabitha fighter. But I built 3 anti-airs because, I mean, what's the fighter going to do? What's the dusters going to do? They can't do anything against ground anti-air, and my opponent has no tanks, so it's a perfect counter. Okay, pulls the bomber back, but my duster is still in range, so I can target that. So I start shifting my units. If Tabitha does put the fighter and attack my commander over here, I will survive since I'm Waylon, and I have an anti-air here, and I can just build another duster on this airport. So I will pretty much kill Tabitha and deny her charge. Meanwhile, my Waylon is still alive, and I get charged for doing more damage. I get another shot on the bomber, and I put an anti-air nearby. Just to say, if you want to do anything against this duster, you'll get hit by the anti-air. That's what I'm putting out there. And I built another anti-air, since my opponent still doesn't have any tanks. Alright, kills my duster, but it done its job. It shot down it pretty much shot down a bomber, which is well worth the price. Walls off my anti-air with infantry. Okay. That's fine. And finally builds a war tank. Now, what is a war tank? A war tank is like a medium tank in this game, except even slower. They cost 16,000, so pretty much a medium tank. But they only have 4 movement. So let's be honest, a mega tank in Advanced Wars by Web is kind of stupid. So I guess it's a good compromise. But this is pretty much just a medium tank for Advanced Wars by Web, except slower. That being said, it is finally a response against my anti-air spam. I have plenty of anti-airs lying around. Still, I do plan to win in the air. I'm getting a lot of charge over here by doing a lot of damage to these cheap infantry. My CO zone radius has increased from 2 to 3, signifying I'm at least halfway there to get my power. And I have 2 anti-air nearby in case a certain fighter tries to do anything. Also building up my veterancy bonus for this anti-air, because once you get 3 kills on a unit, they become a veteran, which is a plus 20% attack and defense. Like I said, Waylon survives getting one shot by the Tabitha fighter. I should also mention that activating powers make your day-to-day global. So I still don't have enough charge to activate my power yet, so I do some light attacks first. And now I have enough charge. So I run back, activate activate my power. Now I have a global 300% defense on my air units, which is ridiculous because now nothing can damage it. Which is it's equivalent to as I said earlier, it's equivalent to a 75% defense in Advanced Wars by Web, just to give a relative scale of how strong it is. And I built a bomber over here because even if the Duster can attack it, 10 base damage. Yeah, that's what 300% defense looks like. This fighter will only do 10 damage to my bomber, which is just 1. So it would survive at 9 HP. And at this point the game is over. I have anti-air controlling the entire field. I have my bomber which can bomb the war tanks up ahead. So I have air supremacy and I would just win like this. So opponent just resigns.